Well, hello, howdily doodly. I sound like Ned Flanders. You don't know who Ned Flanders is. Sorry about that. And this Alco is noisy. It needs to be put to sleep. Just running around a little bit, dragging a single lonely box car. Give it a little exercise. So what do we got? We got these two fantastically lovely brown envelopes. One's from somebody and one's from somebody else. What they are, I don't know. Without looking at it, or where they're from, I should say. I know what they are. I don't know which one's which. Put it that way. All right, I got to take you to the workbench, and we're gonna check these out. Let me shut this darn thing down, and shut everything down out here. Okay, I'm trying a different angle on my camera here. Sometimes when I set up a tripod and stuff, it's difficult. I can't see what you see while I'm doing this, so I'm trying not to get my head or hat or parts of me into this too much other than my hands. So what these are, I don't know which one's which, so let's check out this one. Let's do the one on the right. See what this is. Aha! It is bus scale models. Two kits. Okay, what we got here is two kits. This is Charlie's Market, which is a real smallish grocery store. And we also have Pilcher's Arcade. So this was a kit of the month club, kit number 7. Foscale used to have a kit of the month club, and if you signed up for a certain price a year, you would get a free kit in the mail every month. He no longer has that, but evidently there's still some of those around, and I was able to get this because it was on a Labor Day special, where if I bought a kit like this, I get this free. And he does those several times throughout the year. You might see a Christmas deal like that, or a Memorial Day one, or I don't know, whatever. Spend like $50 and you get a free kit. So I think I explained that all on another video when I did one of Doug's other kits. These are all really cool. Let's set these off to the side for a minute. We'll get into this next one. And it is another Jason Jensen, MJ's Bookstore. Which is very cool. It's got your bookstore down here at the bottom, and it looks like a living space above. So this ought to be a fun kit as well to do. I have my little touristy section over in my harbor town where this arcade will end up. Where these two end up, the grocery store and the bookstore, I'm not sure yet. We shall play it by ear. So let's do a quick unbox or unbag. These two guys are friends, by the way, Doug and Jason. So I'm wondering if they conversed over the phone and figured out that these were the best envelopes to use to transport these kits through the United States Postal Service. Quite a possibility. All right. See how this is sealed. Don't want to accidentally slash anything. All right, on the bookstore. Okay. Once I get the instructions, at least everything else is cool. Yes, here are the instructions. There's the picture. Did like a cream color on the top and a blue on the bottom. Don't know if I'll do those same exact color schemes or not. Here's other photographs of it, different angles. Got your signs. Signs there, signs there, signs there, there. This is the interior. This picture. Looks like you paste it right behind the window. There's kind of, I think this is the footprint. Yeah, it shows where the back door is, etc., etc. A sidewalk out front. And then the second page has all your bracing diagrams. The green would be your corner trim. The red would be your bracing for the wood. These pictures are shown from the inside. And it shows all your other parts and pieces for doors and window frames and so forth, and a fire escape. So that's the instructions. There's nothing written out here that says, I don't think, unless I missed it. No. Nothing written out that says step 1 do this, step 2 do this. If you've done any of his kits before, you pretty much know what steps and order things go in. And if you haven't, Jason, I've mentioned this when I did another one of his kits not too long ago on one of my videos. He does build videos for each of his kits, where he sits down like this at the workbench and actually builds it step by step by step, and you can be on YouTube watching him do that and build it right along with him, which is what I will probably do with this kit. There's a small something that fell out. Here's your strip wood. You got black construction paper. It's probably for the roofing material to cut into strips. This didn't come from the kit. It's a little roof vent. Must have been from my last project. Get back in there. All right, here's our 3D printed parts. There's a sign that says bookstore on it, which you have to prime and paint. You got your smoke jack. Here's a vent. I'm not sure what this part is. It's a 3D print part, or a tree from a 3D printer. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Figure it out. All right, then in here you have all your laser cut task board. The window frames and so forth. Got your acetate for the glass. Sidewalk. I'm not sure what this is. This is probably the base for the building, so that's about the footprint. There's your roof card. That's the parts for a fire escape. Get your ladder and so forth. Railing. And then you have your wall pieces. And whatever this is going to be. Okay, so that is that with the bookstore. Let's throw this away. Set this to the side. All right, and this is Charlie's Market. It's from Foscale. Let me see what this is all about. And I just dropped some. Oh, no, there it is. That's a smoke jack Instead of a 3D printed one, it's a white metal. Here's our instruction booklet. His is, and also the strips we cut for roofing. So this instruction manual, he does go through all the steps with you on written procedure from 1 to 10. Some diagrams. Again, the green is the corner trim, the red is the bracing for the walls, inside out. This is the inside view. Here it is what it looks like put together. This attaches to the front. Shows you all the part numbers for the different window frames and door frames and stuff. Got all your signage. And another little small colored picture. So we should be able to just follow these steps right along and get that one done with minimal problems. Who knows, it's me. We might have some problems. All right. Set that to the side, and this last one, where is it? There it is. Pilcher's Arcade. All right. Again, we have our bracing. Was there bracing in here, did I mention? Yeah, there's bracing for the other kit. Once in a while, oh, blue moon, something will be missing. Well, it's not hard to get a replacement. All right, this is your roofing again. Again, the glass. Instructions here with all your bracing corner trim. Plan for their walls. All kind of signs and pictures and cool stuff that goes on here. That's a weird looking dude, ain't he? Again, we got steps 1 through 10 on here. Another angle look at it. All right, bracing. Then we got this cardstock. So this is probably a back wall that won't be visible, or an inside wall, more than likely. Roof card. Something to make something with. Laser cut task board, window frames, doors. This is probably the base for the building. And these parts you can cut out and they'll be used for something else. That'll be your sidewalk, I believe, right there. I don't know what that is. More roof card and your walls. Then we have another smoke jack, different style, and a little plastic barrel. All right. That's it. So how do we want to tackle this, folks? I have an idea. Let me see here. I'm going to take 3 toothpicks. So one we're going to leave plain. One we're going to put orange on it. And one we're going to put green on it. Now you got to help me remember this. Orange will be this kit. Green will be this kit. And the plain one will be that kit. That's the order we're going to build them in. So let me put these into something. What could we put them in? I don't know, I gotta find something here. Hold on. Should have thought of this ahead of time, huh? I got you. We're gonna put them in here. We're gonna mix them up. I'm not gonna look at them. And I'm just gonna grab one out of here. So whichever one it is, that's what we're building. And it is started to come off. That's green. So green was the middle, right? They said orange, green, and plain. Yeah, put them in there. What am I doing? Okay, now I decided. Couldn't flip a coin since I have 3. All right, so we're gonna get tackling on the arcade. I think that's cool. Let me take this camera down and show you a little close up the pictures on here so you can get a little better view at it. Be back in a minute. All right, so there's 3 photos. Kind of close up for you of the 3 different structures on the instruction pages. And I'm going to put a link for Foscale Models in the description. His website. I also put a link for Jason Jensen Trains' website. And I'll put a link to his YouTube video where he builds this. So in case you like it after you see what I do with it and you want to buy it, go on there, YouTube channel, and build it right along with him. Alrighty, I'll be back and put this stuff away that I'm not building right at the moment and get a little organized here. Alright, I got everything out and ready for Pilter's Arcade. First of all, I'm going to stain this strip wood. This will be for the corner trim, etc. These parts that are for the bracing, I don't need to bother staining them because they'll be on the inside of the building. You'll never ever see them. I like to use, this is one of the ones I like to use, it's Hunter Line. It's called Driftwood. It gives it a nice weathered gray look for the wood. So I'll use that for all your stuff, also for the walls. But the walls I won't stain right away until I get the bracing on. Don't want nothing warping. One easy way to do staining, other than a paintbrush. I think I learned this from Jason Jensen. I learned it from somebody. I don't know why I never thought of it. Just one of the things you go, duh. Dip it in the bottle. Guess when the bottle gets low, it's not quite as easy. Just lay them on a paper towel to dry. Two are almost stuck together. Okay. Now I got a barrel, which I'm probably not going to use. I'm not sure why there would be a barrel outside an arcade. But I will probably find a trash can in my stash and put that out front. And I have 2 different smoke jacks. I'm going to go ahead, and these are the metal white castings. I'm going to go ahead and put some primer on them, spray it out in my garage so I can paint them. I'll paint both of them. I'm probably not going to use both of them. Doesn't seem to be a reason why this particular little structure would have 2 of them. So I'll pick one of the 2 to use. In the meantime, if I got to reach up here, these white metal castings, probably can't see it too well. And actually, this one's a really nice shape. Sometimes they have flashing on them and a seam line that needs filed off. But this one, I don't even see anything on here. That's like perfect. Maybe a tiny bit right in there. Just give it a little file, a little tiny bit. That's nice. This one has a little flash on it or something on the end. Cut that off. I bet that. What it'll do is draw a hole in the building, and then this little whatever it is will actually fit in the hole. Glue it in there. So all you'll see is from here on up. This one is also really, really nice and clean. There's a slight seam line on this side. Not very much. I don't even need to put hardly any pressure on it. File that right off. Very cool. Man, a lot of times you get these things and they're all, you gotta do a lot of work to them to make them look okay. That's why 3D printing is so much nicer. But there's a lot of this metal casting still out there, folks, so we're stuck with them for a while. So. Alright, let me go up and spray this, shut you down for a minute. And I will be back. So inside my styrofoam box that I use to spray stuff in, got the two things primered up. I also sprayed a light gray primer on all these windows and doors and frames and such. And then once that dries, then we'll sponge on some white paint. I think I want to make this a white building. It'll show, those signs will really show up nicely, and they're kind of the focal point for the thing, in my opinion. So let's let this dry. Well, it's the next day already. How about that? All right, what did we get done? All right, I went over these with the gray spray paint, and then the color, kind of an off-white, almost beige craft paint called Desert Sand. Sponged it on fairly heavily. So that's on all the frames and all stuff. It looks pretty cool. Gotta paint the door handles there, way down in there. We'll get that here shortly. Over here, we got the corner trim. Yes, it's supposed to be that long. It's not too short or too long. It's supposed to be that way. Corner trim's on all the pieces that get corner trim. Over there, that one there. Both sides of that. I think that's it. And then these smoke jacks that were primered. I went over these with a metallic paint called Obsidian. It's right there. It's a nice blackish, shiny, which I think looks pretty cool for smoke jacks. I still have to do the base on that one. And then we'll get some rust on it a little bit. And that should look pretty snazzy. Alright, the paint on the walls. Alright, we had the driftwood stain, the Hunterline driftwood. And I went over with a dry brush with that desert sand stuff. And that's what we got. Now I'm going to go over the whole thing, all these wood pieces again. Sorry if I got out of focus. With a sponge and an off-white. Try to get some flaking and peeling old paint look on them. Alright, so let me do that. And do those. And do the doorknobs. And get these signs cut out. Because they're going to go on before this thing gets assembled. For those of you who have never sponged paint, craft paint onto wood, let me just show you a little technique. The way I do it, it's probably about the same as anybody else that does it. Use a cool sponge. Look how chawed up that one is. How many billion times I've used it. It used to be a big rectangle. Alright, get some of my paint on my lovely paint palette, otherwise known as a coffee can lid. Take my sponge get it into the paint. The goal is not to saturate the sponge. Just get it covered a little bit. If you get too much, you can kind of sponge it off. But what I'm going to do is take this for sponging, just with 2 fingers, just lightly dabbing. Not pushing hard, not squeezing paint out. Just letting the sponge do the work. There we be. So let me get up here and show you a little closer what that looks like. Hopefully you can see that well. I have my camera phone at a weird angle and it's hard for me to see, even looking at the other side. But there we go. So that's how I did it, or do it. I've done the same with this piece, which is a different type of wood. This is just board on board, where the other piece was clapboard. So it leaves a nice effect on the wood. So let me do these other 2 big pieces here, and we shall and get my signs cut out, then I'll be back. Alrighty, with these signs, you've probably seen this before if you watched any of my videos on the buildings. With these signs, to dull them down, I use a weathering powder, a light gray, and with a beat up nasty brush like that, scrub that gray into the signs. Takes the shine off and dulls them down, and kind of adds some smudges too, which are cool, as you can see there. There's that creepy guy again. Yeah, that one threw me off, because if you see in the picture, I didn't realize what I was doing. If you see in the picture there, that sign is around the door, but this is a square sign. So we're gonna have to turn it around. I can do this one-handed. Turn it around, take a pencil and mark out the door, and then cut that part out. It won't be cutting out anything other than what's yellow, so that's how that sign will fit on there, and the rest go on pretty normally. None of these signs are ones that would be painted onto a building, so I don't have to worry about sanding them and thinning them and pushing them into cracks and crevices. These are all pretty much, I believe, I could be wrong about 1 or 2, but they're all just ones that would be hung on the side of a building, so they don't quite need all that much extra attention. So I decided actually the best way would be to attach the sign first and then cut out the door opening. So what I'm doing is just putting some white glue on here, spread it out with a paintbrush, thinly cover all this white, put that sign over top of it so I can match it up evenly against the corner trim and against the roof and the bottom. Wait till that dries and then go in with a sharp blade and cut it out for that door opening. Alrighty, well, this has been a long time in between videos. Life happens, busy, friends from out of town come, went on a 5-day camping trip, just left all this stuff laying here, and now I'm home, everything's away, everything's good. It's gonna be a rainy week, kinda, I think they said. So we should get this wrapped up in quick order, I believe. So anyhow, this part goes on the top of the wall. This is for these windows along the top there, if you can see on the instruction page. Best thing I've found to do with these type things, I don't know why I got that glare on there. Let's get that out of there. Sorry about that. Yeah, I just glue it straight to the window glass, the acetate, the whole piece. Then each one of those sections can be cut out individually and put into here. And of course, this one is now re-gluing. I had it glued on before I left, came back, was messing with it, and broke it right off, this top part. through, re-glued it. This is the about around. That goes on the top there. So that's glued on and drying. Shouldn't take too long. Tacky glue for these kind of parts is the best, I think, for me, because they set up quickly, fairly quickly. And I still got a lot more signs to put on. I haven't decided where they're all going to go yet, so I actually might change my mind and do a few of them, but then wait till the building's together and then put the rest of them on. So, all right, let me get these windows done here, and I'll be back with you. Here's the main building. All four walls glued together. There you go. I popped a couple of these windows open, just glued them onto the top part of the frame for some interest. I was going to do one on this side, then I completely forgot about it. But so that's all right. We got this little rectangular hole in that wall, and there's no one on that wall. So this is for that little bump out building, which is right. You know, zoom over there, that one. So you'll see it has a tab already laser cut into it, and that will slide into this wall and become the back wall for the bump out. Then this piece will go in right there. Then I painted up the door, or the front, not really a door, the service window. So I painted that. I need to add the glass here to it. I guess that's next. Man, so far so good. Coming along pretty well. I'll be back in a tiny bit. So here they are. I had to sand the hole out just a tiny bit for that one. That back wall, and the same. This one I didn't have to do anything to, but here's the smaller of the two bump outs. Now we have this little metal shelf, which is this task board. It's laser cut, and I painted it silver, and that'll fit underneath that window right there. Then there's a smaller one sitting here that I also painted silver that goes on that one. Alrighty, we shall return. Alright, I'm not going to put those metal shelves on there underneath the windows yet. Fiddle them with this roof and stuff, and I'm sure to break them off, so they're very kind of flimsy, delicate things. So I'll just wait till the end and pop them in after the roof is done. Alright, we have these funny things. You don't need to paint these or anything. They kind of just go. One will go in there, be glued on. Sorry about my messy fingers. And another one will be glued onto the back side here. And that'll help support the roof, which is these two pieces, right? Well, it's one piece right there. It gets folded, turned into two. Then we have these things, which I went ahead and painted them and kind of aged them some. They are those that go to the top of the scary looking smiley guy. So I learned a new term. They're called Corbel brackets. Never knew that. So anyway, 3 of them get glued in between where these two little lines are. So one will glue there, one there, and one on each end. And they'll all be spaced evenly, and you don't have to worry about it. Then this part goes on top of that, so it's kind of like a false front. Alrighty, on to that stage. So here's these cable support things. One there, and then one there. Then the back wall, which matches it. will help hold this thing up. So there's that piece, we cut it out, it just bends. And it'll end up going on there. So we'll glue it on, but first we're going to take the underside of it and paint the edges that could be seen. I use this dark gray, it's called Pavement. And I go in about yay far with it. Then we also make sure we get the edges. Sorry, no, I'm big boy, that's hard. So we always make sure we get the edges as well, so it doesn't have that cardboardy color. And then the top of it, once it's glued on, we'll add our rolled roofing strips to it. Then we have another roof here, which goes there, and we have that one there, which goes back on top of that. Then we have this other one, which isn't a roof, it has an X on it. Boy, I'm having problems with the camera today. Alright, that one will end up being this sign up here that's on brackets and supported. So let's get the main roof, 3 roofs done, and then we'll worry about that sign thing. So here we are, peoples. Put on the rolled roofing. I used a peel and stick excuse me, roofing that I had. Just measured it out, cut it, peeled it off, stuck it on there. Gotta paint it. So we got all 3 roofs done. I kind of made them a little off kilter on purpose, so it looks like it was kind of slapped on there instead of by some super professional roofer. And we got a paint. I'm going to use I'll use my, oh, where's it at? Here it is. The old peppercorn. It's a dark gray. And weather it using some weathering powders. And then I have these 3 signs for the roof done. Just cut them out. These supports, painted them. Painted the back of the sign, which is nothing more than cardstock. Glued the sign onto the front. So there's that one. There's that one. We also sell fireworks in this thing. I didn't know if I told you that. M80s, yeah, probably. High school kids can blow up toilets, like they used to do in my school when I was a kid. And then the arcade sign. So you're not allowed to drink, smoke, gamble, or swear inside, or you'll be in trouble. Alright, so let me get that done. Then we'll go on and put our little smoke jacks, vents on, whatever these are. Yeah. Gotta rust this up yet. Put that on. And the other one is the vent for the, probably for the ice cream store. Ice cream part of the arcade. So, alright, and then we'll be almost done. Hi, so here we are. This is the base. And it's nice that it has that big old gaping hole in the middle of it. So if I ever want to add lights to the inside, I can certainly do that easily. So we don't need to paint the whole thing, but I did just go over it with a concrete color, acrylic. And it'll sit something like that. I'll get her on there right and crooked and straight. Not crooked. And yeah. So I'm going to add some little cracks to it and weather it up so it looks like worn old concrete. And then I found these 2 little guys. They're going to be my workers. It's a requirement that you must wear black pants to work here, I guess. But this one is I don't know what the heck it is, but it's not a Prizer or a Woodland Scenics. It's just some cheapo one. Not very detailed, so it'll look fine being inside the building. We'll put him in there. Put this other guy inside on the other. I don't think we have to add too much. We got our smoke jacks on there. So that's about that. We're almost it. So just a little bit more weathering. Put the figures in. Glue this thing to the base. And we'll call it a wrap. So let's get that done, and I'll be back with you momentarily. Folks, that is it. That's all I'm doing to it. All set. Roof done, signs done, details done. Little trash can, threw some trash there laying beside it, because somebody is too lazy to lift the lid off the trash can and throw it out. We got old Hank in there. Over there's George. See, the circus was in town back in the summer. My layout's in the fall, so my story is the circus was there and never took their posters down whenever they left. So that's why there's still circus stuff everywhere. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, let's take this thing over to the layout to my little tourist area and set it there and just kind of check it out. All right, well, I'll throw it there for now. So we got all kinds of good places to eat and play and hang out in right in this little area below the Fisherman's Cannery. This road will come in here. It'll be, I'm thinking I'm going to do a cobblestone road. So this is just kind of the start of it. But I'm thinking a loop that would go around. Maybe like a little park here in the middle. Trees and picnic tables and so forth. And then the road will end up going off into that way. Parking area, that's a VFW way down there. And so forth. Being there. And then this bridge will go up there. So there'll be another road that leads onto the bridge. Oh, my fingers again. Boy, I have a bad habit of doing that. Anyway, so here's some of the other cool, I think I've showed these before, but in case you're new and haven't seen them, some of the cooler touristy type stuff. So there we got our arcade along with ice cream and M80 fireworks. We got Boyd Shakes here. Get some cool, we got some lunch platters they can dish up for you as well. We got that clam box. We got some booze. Of course, you need booze, so whether these are going to be in these positions and spots, I really have no idea yet. They could be completely rearranged the next time you look at them. The Full Moon Tavern. Of course, if you're real hungry, you can get a big burger from Rocky Jones's Burger Shack. There we have Jackie's Crabs. And we got old Keffer's Chili Dogs. So a lot of places you can pack in the calories at. That's probably enough eateries and things like that I'm going to be doing. So unless I'm working in a different town. But anyway, so that's my plan, future plan. Someday, at some point, if you look across the way there, that's my scenery summer project, was this whole area coming down. Those videos are on my channel if you want to go back and look. So, I don't know. I do want to kind of finish it up to here, so I'll probably do a video on that up to about this area and get that done. Add some details yet along this area. So that'll probably be the next video, and then we'll have another structure build and maybe another structure build. This whole area needs structures. All of this. That's a lot of buildings. Have some of them ready. They're just kind of sitting there, the church and the Wiley's Tavern, another place to get a good beer and get your car fixed there at the downtown garage. So all this will need a road and buildings in. So, all right, folks, I guess I'll leave you. Enough yapping. I'll leave this and shut this thing down. Sorry, but it took such a long time to get out a new video. Like I said, there was all kinds of cool stuff that was going on that's not model railroad relating. Believe it or not, there is a few things like that in the world. And I was out camping and had an oak tree fall on my campsite, but that's a story for another day. I wasn't killed. I wasn't there when it happened. So, all right, I'm going to let you go. Any questions, please enter them in the comments. And my last video didn't get one single comment. So at least comment something. Let me know you're alive out there. All right, guys. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe if you hadn't. Appreciate you all very, very much. And we'll see you soon.